Band for that rich patriotic melody that they played this morning. What a wonderful way to start out this holiday season. Great job for Director David Pepin. My name is Jake Blitch, and again I have the honor of being your Masters of Ceremonies this morning. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
No? Welcome to all you, and thank you for coming this morning and participating in our remembrance of those friends and family who have passed before us, and especially our veterans who served our country to make us forever free. Your presence here this morning is a tribute to your commitment, knowing your loved ones may be gone, but not forgotten. That death may be the end of life, but it is not the end of love. This morning I'd like to invite the Reverend Tony Ahrens of the Eastside Church of Christ to present this morning's invocation. Reverend Ahrens is new to Owine. He's from a small town of Little Rock in the extreme northwest corner of Iowa. He joined the Army at an early age and served for 2 years during the Korean War. He is a member of the American Legion and past commander of the Little Rock Legion Post number 316. After his discharge, he worked as a banker for 18 years when he realized that he had a calling to the ministry. He says he got things right with God and has been doing God's work ever since. His last assignment was in Sumner, and we welcome him and his wife Irma to Owine into our service this morning. Reverend Ahrens.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
What a wonderful, beautiful day the Lord's given us today, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's give Him a hand, shall we? You know, as I stand here this morning and I look out and I see all these flags blowing in the breeze, and my heart is just going 100 miles an hour. And if your heart isn't going faster than it was a few minutes ago, there's something wrong. Each one of those flags bring back a memory for someone.
We tried it again as we had the honor of hearing Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Tofola of the United States Marine Corps, an OHS class of 1984, speak to us. In 2007 was the year you gave a warm reception to an invigorating address by our Owine's own Colonel Bill Adams, United States Army, retired, class of 1965. In 2008, we made it 4 in a row when we had the distinction of listening to Colonel Scott Sanborn of the United States Army, an OHS graduate of the 1983 class. Last year in May of 2009, we collectively busted our buttons as the 1983 Owine grad Lieutenant Colonel Doug Proctor of the United States Air Force spoke. And if you remember, Colonel Proctor reminisced about strolling through Arlington National Cemetery and how, in essence, it was much like Woodlawn Cemetery in Owine, Iowa, an eternal resting place for those who we have loved and those who have loved their country. Today, May 31st, 2010, we have two firsts. We have our first female homecomer and our first enlisted homecomer. Angie Chapman was born and raised in Owine and is the daughter of Richard Chapman and Esther Reinhardt. She graduated from Owine High School in 2000 and went on to continue her education at Ellsworth Community College, earning an Associates of Science and Biotechnology degree. In May of 2002, she joined the Army and began what seemed like her Fort of the Month assignments. She was stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, where she completed her basic training, and then on to Fort Lee, Virginia, where she finished her advanced individual training. Angie was also stationed at Fort Irwin, California, Fort Richardson, Alaska, and is currently based at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Angie's mother, Esther, tells us that she is the 6th generation warrior. Her military lineage can be traced back to the Civil War. And although becoming a soldier was never part of her career plan, the events of 9/11 changed her life. She, like thousands of other Americans, took that attack personal. much like those of our greatest generation following the attack on Pearl Harbor. Dick Chapman, Angie's dad, said Angie grew up on a farm and was a self-motivated and a hard worker and willing to try anything. She loved taking care of the animals and always thought she wanted to become a veterinarian. And today she can proudly say she is a vet. Sergeant Chapman is a veteran of both the Iraq and Afghanistan war. She was deployed to Bagram, Afghanistan for 12 months, and then to Anaconda, Iraq for 15 months. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Staff Sergeant Angela Chapman Fernandez.
Had to make some notes this morning in case I forget something. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Staff Sergeant Angela Chapman. I'm a soldier. I'm here today to tell you what it means to me. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Why I joined the Army? I joined the Army like many others did before me because of 9/11. It was a calling to me, and it made a turn in my history. Like Mr. Blitch said, I am a sixth generation. Like my grandfather before me, on May 15th, 1942, he joined the United States Army. On May 15th, 2002, 60 years to the day, I joined the United States Army. I am also the first female on both family sides to enlist in the United States military, which is a whole nother issue. What I do for a living today is I am a food service sergeant, or better known as a food service specialist for the lower enlisted. As most folks call us, a cook. And as the infantry love us, you know, because they get fed. Nobody can complain for a happy cook. For those of us who know the military language, I'm a 92 Golf. I've worked in the dining facilities, or known as the defect, or a chow hall. I've worked in the field training environments, and I've also worked my way up through the ranks from the lower enlisted to the non-commissioned officer. I am currently working as an enlisted aide to the Commanding General, Major General Quantock. Part of being in the Army means you take the good with the bad, the easy, and the hard. What I consider is the easy part of the Army. The easy part of the Army is being able to see and meet new people every single day. I've met new people throughout my path, and they become family to me. Sometimes you have not very much work to do, you call it an easy day, and go home, take it easy. Not many of us can complain for that because you go home and you still get paid for the end of the day, no matter what it was. But there always comes a clause with that, which means there are long hours, long days, long holidays. You go to work when many people are at home, taking a nap, calling it their day off, or many holidays where you'd wish you'd be spending it with your family, and you're busy at work. The hardest part of being in the military or in the Army, by far, is being away from home, being away from the people that you love. Going places